Okay, high schoolers, you actually get a syllabus. You get to walk into class on the very first day and your teacher is going to hand you a sheet of paper. It's going to say syllabus at the top and you're going to think, why on earth do I have this? Why do I care? But here's why it's important. First of all, your teacher is giving you a glimpse into how a teacher's mind works, which you may or may not want to know, but it will actually save you and help you throughout the whole rest of the course of the semester. This syllabus will inform you how your teacher plans to grade, what percentages your teacher is going to use, how big of a percent is homework, how big of a difference does it make, how big of a percent are tests, how about quizzes, how about papers, because you need to know how you're spending your energy studying for this particular class. And the syllabus will detail which things are most important, which things you need to focus on. So do not cast this aside or stuff it in a bag somewhere and maybe look at it or maybe not. This is important. I want you guys to be able to look through the syllabus and then I want you to be able to prioritize. Okay, I'm using this so that now I'm going to know how to study. Also on a syllabus, teachers usually give you some sort of a schedule. If your teacher gives you a schedule, let's say it's a literature class, and your teacher gives you some sort of a schedule and tells you that over the next quarter, or maybe 2 quarters, right? So if you have from August to December, that's going to cover 2 quarters. So let's say your teacher gives you a schedule that shows over the next 2 quarters, you are going to cover one major book, right? You're going to cover a novel, but you're also going to cover 4 short stories. And let's say you don't like to read, which I got to admit, I can't even fathom because that's like breathing to me, but I know a lot of people hate to read. So let's pretend for just a second that your teacher tells you you're going to read Huckleberry Finn, okay? And you don't like to read. All of a sudden, your teacher has just given you the keys to the literary kingdom. How? You can go home. You can talk to your parents and say, I really need to get an audible copy of Huck Finn. And you can go listen to the entire book, probably within 3 or 4 hours. You could do it in one weekend. You could get a copy of the book. You could sit down and listen to it while you look at the words. And do you know what happens? That's not cheating. You're actually reading it with your ears. But then when you're in class, what's going to happen is when your teacher starts to read it out loud or when you have to read a passage later, you've already got all that information stored in there. So all of you who hate to read, all of you who have to read really slowly or you have trouble comprehending things, when someone else is reading it at a quick pace and you're just listening to it, it makes so much more sense. So if you listen to it in advance before you ever get to it in actual class, it's going to make so much more sense. And how would you know to do that? Because your teacher provided all the information in the syllabus. You can do that with short stories. You can do that with poetry. You can find all of those things online. And that's how you use the information to your benefit. If your teacher tells you that you are going to be doing algebra or you're going to be doing biology or psychology or whatever it is, and there's a concept coming up and you have no idea what it is, or you read the chapter and you're confused, well, guess what? You can get on Khan Academy and look up a lecture about something that's 10 minutes long, and then you'll show up to class prepared. Or if you go to class and your teacher explains a concept and you don't understand it, you can get online and look it up. But the fact that your teacher is going to give you a sheet of paper that's going to tell you what you are going to accomplish, that means that you have control. That means that you get to make a plan. That means that you get to be the active participant in your education. You don't have to wait for somebody else to do it. So this document is very, very important. The other reason it's important is if you have any problems with your teacher, which I'm sure you won't because teachers are wonderful, but if for whatever reason you have any problems with your teacher, if you have your syllabus, you have your document, and then you have your grades, and you say something's not matching up here, you can go to someone. You could go to your guidance counselor. You could go to the principal and you could say, I've turned in all of this homework and yet percentage-wise this isn't making any sense. And you would have a document to back you up that the instructor said it was going to go like this, but it's not. And that's what it is. A syllabus is a contract between a teacher and a student. So do not throw it away. 3-hole punch it, stick it in a binder somewhere, and keep track of that syllabus. It will help you more than you think.